Welcome to this episode of CHS Wired. I'm Tashi Matthewen.
And I'm Caden Shirley. Stay tuned for information on climate change, a book removed from our school library, and more.
Have you heard talk in the halls about a book removed from our library? Alicia Kane brings you the story.
At the February 20th school board meeting, the board voted 5-1 to remove the book, A Bad Boy Can Be Good for a Girl, from the CHS library. The book, told in verse, tells the story of 3 girls all dating the same bad boy. The book has won 7 major awards, including the Maryland Great Book for Teens in 2006.
There was a complaint that was lodged by a member of the community
about a book that they found in the library that was not something that they wanted their child to read. We decided that it was best to review it as a board, at which time we ultimately decided to not allow it be in the library.
Students who might learn something from this book or get something from this book shouldn't be allowed to access it? I don't think so.
It's pornographic, in my opinion, or at least bordering upon it.
It's certainly not pornography in my view. I'm opposed to banning any kind of a book that is in our library.
I don't believe that book belongs in our libraries. A lot of people are going to cry that we are burning books and that we should never ban books, but that is a preposterous position to take, in my opinion.
Diversity in speech is important, and so, is this the racy edge of things? The good or the bad boy and the good girl, that's a scenario that happens in every school.
A book review from Teens Read 2 states, every high school-aged girl in the world needs to read this book. A story of self-discovery, broken hearts, and renewed spirits. A wake-up call. Another review from Booklist states, the lessons learned here are important. The girls realize they'll be hurt again, but now they are forewarned, forearmed, forever. Removing the book from the library has sparked a school and community-wide debate.
When I heard about the book banning, I was very outraged because this book seemed to be a very good novel for younger women. It seemed it was meant to empower them, so I was wondering why would we want to take that away from the women at our school.
I hope there will be some reconsideration of keeping this book in our library based on the feedback from the community.
This has been Alicia Kane with CHS Wired.
2 CHS students have been pursuing one of their passions together for over a decade. Liam O'Hara brings you more.
The biggest motivation for me, I guess, is the people that I hope to inspire as I achieve these high levels of success on state, national, and eventually world stages. I still haven't mastered the sport. Perfection is the impossible standard.
Well, shooting for me has really changed my life. It's made me what I am. It's instigated the things I want to do, and most of the lessons and things I hold dear and try and apply to my life every day, or through that and through the people I've met. I just wouldn't be the same without it.
I'm Marty Romero, and I am Reese and Dylan's dad. I have coached them quite a bit. They've also been coached by other people. They were coached by Frank Thompson, who competed in the London and the Beijing Olympics. We like to fish, hunt, cook, play with dogs. We spend a ton of time together. They first started shooting when they were 2-3 years old, because they both had Olympic dreams, but their focus has changed. Reese wants to go to the Naval Academy. Dylan has decided he wants to try to attend West Point or the Air Force Academy, which would be the same year as the Tokyo Games. So competing in the Olympics is now not their main goal.
Hi, I'm Leslie Romero. Dylan and Reese Romero are my boys. Reese enjoys playing the guitar. He's gotten really good at it. And he also likes to golf. And Dylan likes to He likes to ski. He skied Nordic this year. It was his first year and he did well and really liked it.
I hope that my story and my situation can help inspire people, not just in shooting, but in school and in other sports, to strive for that level of greatness and achievement.
I just want them to pursue what makes them happy. I want them to be successful. If going to the Olympics and working and training hard to go there is still their passion, or is one of them, Marty and I will just do everything we can to get them there.
We are excited to see how far Dylan and Reese take their passion and skill for shooting.
Climate change has been a hot topic lately, especially because of the changing weather. Victoria Morales brings you more.
I am Dean Olenek. I'm a science teacher here at Cody High School. As a teacher, for me, I always think education is the way to solve a lot of problems. I have to believe that education is the key to changing the world, especially since I chose that as my profession.
One of the things that has happened due to climate change caused by humans is that the difference in temperature on the Arctic and the difference in temperature at the equator have decreased in their difference. So the Arctic's much warmer, and that means you used to have warm air coming up to cold air, plus the Earth is spinning, and it created this beautiful wall of wind called a jet stream. And we broke the jet stream by changing that differential.
I think the only thing that people can really discuss is it human caused? I think some people believe that it still is a natural cycle, but the data is showing that it's changing at a rate that it's never changed in the past.
And once you understand, oh, that's why the erosion's happening in the Wind River Canyon, that's why the floods happened in Colorado in 2013, that's why in 2011 much of Montana was under a flood. So it gives us that explanation for what's going on. It's hard to understand that what we're doing every day could actually impact this big world. We don't know what we're doing when we're doing it. So when we drive a car, we don't think of ourselves.
I think having to do something about it is complex and scary, and it's political, and so I think people would rather almost ignore it than think about it. I mean, there's a lot of little things that you can do, make you feel empowered. One of the simplest things is looking at your footprint and walking to school instead of driving. I'd say recycling things that you use. The other things you can do are not use them. You know, I see a lot of kids with plastic water bottles every day that are the ones that they just throw away. You know, if you get your own water bottle, I mean, there's a lot of little things that you can do.
The opportunity to work together and to solve this is great, and you guys are going to be a great generation because of it. I'm just sorry that the grown-ups left the house on fire.
There are many ways you can help protect our environment.
The NHS Recycling Committee has been doing their fair share helping with recycling around the school. Here's Katie Nichols with a closer look.
The purpose is to take care of recycling at Cody High School because no one's doing it. And so it was an opportunity for National Honor Society students to get volunteer hours, because that's one of our purposes, is to contribute service to the community.
We're looking for a quick and easy way to take over the recycling responsibilities that were previously held by the special ed department.
If anybody wants to help us, we would love to have help. Recycling is not an exclusive activity. Anybody could do it. But I would say that they can just come talk to either me or Dylan Romero, and we can tell you when people are recycling and how to do it and how to get in on it, because we'd love to have help.
This has been Katie Nichols for CHS Wired.
In an ongoing effort to make all Park 6 schools a safe environment, many teachers and staff have gone through special training.
On Monday, February 19th, all Park County employees went through ALICE training. ALICE stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, Evacuate. These are all options in the event of an active intruder.
I mean, anytime somebody comes in yelling, screaming, it's a scary situation. Even though they're shooting airsoft guns, you're trying to kind of avoid being hit, much like you would if somebody were shooting a real weapon. You're going to have that fear factor kind of kicking in and the adrenaline rush. And so really it's the concepts of what to do in the moment than simulations.
The simulations were really, really useful, especially because they did a lot of different scenarios so that people could figure out better strategies for what would work. Not just if you had a school shooter, but there's a whole lot of different scenarios too where it's just good to have people kind of aware of their own strategies. And even if it was something like an earthquake, people would have a better idea of how they would handle an emergency.
Teachers are being trained in order to learn there are options when confronted with a dangerous situation. The district plans to train students in ALICE as well, so they too can be educated and more prepared for an active shooter.
I do think the one thing that it didn't address enough was to have people report when they have concerns. And I know kids are always super concerned about if you report, that somebody has talked about shooting up the school, then you're, being a snitch or ratting them out or whatever. But I really feel like kids know what's going on. Listen to them.
Along with future ALICE training, it is vital students learn to speak out, as their voice can save lives.
The days of just locking yourself behind a door and hoping for the best are over.
ALICE training will be a great addition to prepare our school for an active shooter.
There's been an increase in juniors and seniors enlisting in the Army here in Cody. Ryan Christensen brings you more.
There has been an increase in students enlisting before graduation.
Go to college and use the Army to pay for your college to be 100% debt-free, or at least pay for the majority of your college.
It helps improve these students' futures and gives them a peace of mind that they have a plan.
I think it's the right choice. If what you think in the future, Army is usually a really good choice, especially the reserves if you want to go into college.
If you are interested or have any questions, call the Recruiting Center here in Cody.
Semi-pro skater John Wells has a true passion for skateboarding. Sarah Kite and Connell Keegan bring you more.
My name is John. It started for me 15 years ago. That was the first time I picked up a skateboard. The first day I ever went to the skate park when it was open, I was on rollerblades. I didn't even skateboard. I never really even thought I would be stepping on a skateboard. From the very beginning, it was such a cool thing for me because I realized this was me learning it. There wasn't really anybody to teach me. And so from there, it almost became like a Rosetta Stone, but it was just me. It was really me learning a whole language. Instead of words, it was movements and it was tricks. Nothing in skateboarding has ever come easy for me. It's been 15 years of falling down a lot.
We can't wait to see what the future holds for Wells.
Now to Ryan at the sports desk.
Welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm Ryan Christensen. Recently, the boys wrestling team took second at state. Riley Smith and Mackenzie Hansen brings you more.
State wrestling was recently held in Casper, Wyoming. Many Cody High School boys competed and placed.
We had our state wrestling tournament, and the team did very well. It was best
Well, like the paper said, best finish that we've had in 63 years.
We had a great group of guys up there, and we just all hang out and had laughs. And we ended up second overall at state, and it was just how much work we put in.
I won state championship at 182. After the period ended, I just got up and like flexed, I guess, and just yelled and pointed to coach and then pointed to my family in the stands.
We had 14 guys go down and wrestle, and 9 of them ended up placing, and we had 3 in the finals.
Walking up during state and getting that award was just amazing, especially as a senior going out and knowing all these guys that helped us out, and probably not going to be able to see them again for a while, so it was a good ending on that.
Everyone just clicked, and we had some awesome rounds where they just got on a roll, and they just win after win after win after win. It just kind of was a cascading thing that happened, and all of a sudden we're in the hunt for being in the top 2, and it just carried through the finals, and we end up second, and that's the best we've ever done. Our highest placing at state that I've ever been involved in. And all of our kids are just nice. I mean, they supported each other. There was no fighting. Didn't have any grade problems.
Good group of kids. It was a fun season. The whole season was fun just because of those kids. They're a joy to be around, and we never had any issues. They were good teammates. They were helping each other, and they cared for each other, and we just had a good time.
How I feel about the coaches, I like them. They're really cool. Trev always is fun at practice, and Coach Trotter always cracks jokes, and Coach Kirkham's just really laid back.
Enjoy most about coaching is just seeing those kids succeed. Whether if they've never won a match and they finally win their first match, or whether it's those kids just work so hard all season and place at state or become a state champion. It's just so exciting to see that happen.
Congratulations, boys. Way to represent Cody High. It is rare to hear of rivals working together, but the Cody and Powell bands did just that. Bri Britchka and Keaton Sheldon bring you more.
I was called last week, about midweek, by the Powell band director. He said he was going to be at the University of Wyoming with several of his kids from the Powell band, and they still wanted to have a band at the game. So he said, can you bring over a few students from Cody and help fill out the Powell band and make it a little more lively at the game? And I said, well, why don't we just bring the whole band over?
I actually really enjoyed it because I got to see the basketball game again. We weren't necessarily like rooting for the Powell team, it was more for sportsmanship, and so I just thought it was really nice to go down and show some sportsmanship.
My first thoughts before playing with the Cody band was I was really nervous because I didn't know how many people were going to be there and what music we were going to play.
How I felt about playing with the Powell band students was I was really glad to do it, but at the same time it was really fun.
Great to have such great players, and especially with Mr. French and Austin Chandler duking it out, battling head-to-head on the trombone. That was really great.
It was really fun. Great musicians, great kids. In terms of music, we work together with the band kids from the whole basin. So there's a lot of times that we're in the same groups. This was unique because pet band is usually just very school-focused.
Hopefully we can see the two bands playing again next year. On the 15th of February in Gillette, the boys swimming team placed 10th at state overall. Dan and Charlie Boudry were state champions in the 160 and 182 weight class, while 7 other Cody wrestlers received medals. The Bronx placed second in the 3A division. Last weekend at state indoor track, Grace Schaefer and Gavin Holman were crowned state champions in pole vault. Owen Euler also received second place on All-State in the event. The Phillies placed 4th overall and the Bronx placed 9th. The Alpine Ski boys and girls took 2nd overall. Nicole Wagler, Mackenzie Gunn, and Matthew Montgomery got All-State. The Cody Bronx basketball team won the 3A West Regionals, while the Cody Phillies earned their way to the state tournament, placing 4th. Both teams are competing in Casper. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be on the Phillies basketball team?
We're always serious, especially when it comes to tournament time.
And we always eat healthy.
Brought popcorn in my teeth.
What?
The closed concessions.
Honey.
We enjoy each other's company and are always nice to each other.
I don't say it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just crying, Maddie.
Why is your chicken in my food? Keep your
Underclassmen.
I know, I want some chocolate milk too.
Okay.
Am I not allowed to have chocolate milk?
No.
Are you happy?
No.
Really, that was way too close.
Get out of our faces, Bailey. Get out.
Do not.
Hope to see you at state.
State basketball is this weekend. The Phillies' first game is Thursday morning at 10:30. Stay tuned on Wild Preps to see how they're doing. Harder, better, faster, stronger. Daft Punk might know the same, but do you? Jackson Morris and Maddox Stinson bring you more.
I think CrossFit's a little bit different than other exercise styles, and the fact that it really combines everything. So there's gymnastics, there's bodyweight movements, there's Olympic movements, there's powerlifting movements, there's endurance movements, and there's really no specific thing that's CrossFit. I think there's risks with any sport or with anytime you walk in a weight room or walk down the street for that matter. If you don't know the movements and can handle the movements and handle the intensity prescribed, then there can be a risk. But I think having a good coach, having a good teacher, and then kind of losing your ego and being willing to accept, hey, I need to do it lighter or scale a workout, I think it makes it very safe. If anything, I'd say it's high intensity and it tends to be on the shorter side, but it really uses every modality that people have been using to work out for years. So it's nothing new. I think it's just that they use it all. They use rowing and running and weightlifting and snatches and clean and jerks and deadlifts in gym and ring movements. They use all those things together, whereas in the past people used to maybe do one or the other. With the trimester system, we looked at a lot of different things in PE. I had some students approach me about offering a CrossFit class. We've offered traditional weight classes for years now and do CrossFit units or high intensity units. And I kind of took it, these kids wanted to do it and I thought it'd be a great fit. So I don't know if it'll go or not, but I think it'd be an excellent opportunity for kids to try something new.
To try Cody CrossFit, look at their times on their website, codycrossfit.com. Sportsmanship is something many athletes here at CHS take very seriously.
Good sportsmanship is when you're cheering your own teammates on, but you also cheer on other teammates. So you're not really one-sided and you don't try to rub it in the other team's face, I guess. Sport of everybody.
I am so fortunate because I get to coach in a sport where the sportsmanship is constant. Swimming is you become a family because it's a very small community of kids, and the teams are fairly small, and so it's a constant thing that you see. You see other teams cheering for each other. I'll look around and I'll see Whirland kids cheering for my kids, or my swimmers cheering for Whirlands, or back and forth with all the other teams.
Sportsmanship can be seen everywhere. It's not just in sporting events, it's also in daily lives, and just really being respectful amongst others and just treating other people with fairness and just really being a good leader.
Always be sure to represent CHS with good sportsmanship. Back to you, Tashi and Caden.
Thanks, Ryan. Now for this week's movie quiz. We will begin accepting calls at 10 a.m.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my god. I love your bracelet. Where did you get it?
Oh, my mom made it for me.
It's adorable.
So fetch.
What is fetch?
Oh, it's like slang from England. So if you're from Africa,
Then why are you white?
Oh my god, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're white. Could you give us some privacy for like 1 second? Yeah, sure.
This week's movie quiz is for the movie Mean Girls, directed by Mark Waters, starring Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, Tina Fey, and Tim Meadows. This week's movie question is, on what day does Aaron ask Caddy for the date?
It's pronounced like Katie.
My apologies.
If you think you know the answer, call extension 5125.
Have you ever wondered what art club does? Betta Paganini brings you more.
We started the art club years ago because there were so many students that wanted to do projects that went beyond our regular art curriculum.
I kind of came in here wondering if there was going to be an art club, and Miss Ani said that Kateri was wondering the same thing, and we kind of decided that we wanted to make an art club.
I joined art club because I've always loved art. Ever since I was little, I was always drawing, and I thought that this would be a good opportunity to meet other artists around the school and be able to work with them, get their feedback, and improve on my art.
Right now, students are working on a big mural
that will go up in the school. It's a giant horse with mountains in the background.
We have started working on a project to take to the State High School Art Symposium.
It's this really big frame, and we're going to put a backing on it, and then we're going to have a bunch of melted pieces of plastic.
To create an abstract sculpture.
I think people should join art club because it's a really good place to be, and no matter like what you're into, you can always just kind of relate through art, and you can have fun and get messy.
So many times people say that I can't do art, I have no idea, I'm not good at it. Well, that's the reason why you join a club, is to get better at it. And art, just like any other thing, if you practice at it, you can get better.
One nice thing about art club is that you don't have to be in art class to be an art club. If you have any interest in art and just need an outlet for your art, come on down and we do projects. Most people in the club are not in an art class right now.
You don't have to be good at art, honestly. I mean, good at art, that's very relative. Different people have different art styles, and everything will just add to the uniqueness and diversity of the art in the group.
People don't even know if they're good at art until they start working on art. Sometimes there's so many different kinds of artistic endeavors. You might be good at one thing and you might enjoy another even more.
If you want to join, you can attend their lunch meetings on Monday in Miss Ani's room.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of CHS Wired. Stay tuned next time for stories on the evolution of CHS Wired, drooling in school, and more. This has been Tashi Matthewen
and Kate and Shirley for CHS Wired.